Hello everybody. In this video today, I'm going to work to demystify and to simplify your understanding of electricity and qi, while also giving you a framework to have a better understanding of how it interacts with atmospheric patterns all around us as well as within us. In this video, we will be looking at how charge has strength through different mediums. We will be looking at the density of fields, electron donors and electron stealers. We will be looking into how smoke, smog, fog, and mist works, as well as anatomical significances within the human body. Fantastic. So let us begin by taking a simplified look of how charge interacts within our atmosphere. The higher up that you climb within our atmosphere on Earth, the stronger the positive charge becomes. This increases roughly at 100 volts per meter of raised altitude. The surface of the Earth acts as a negatively charged plate. Positive charge acts as an electron stealer, and negative charges act as an electron donor, giving away charge. These particles are pulled through the air by seen and unseen currents, giving and taking charge from their immediate surroundings as they go. So the higher up in the atmosphere that we go, we have stronger positive charges, with the Earth acting as a negatively charged plate. The middle area between, will represent our dielectric, meaning the area between the two plates, one positive, one negative. Let's dig deeper and let's begin to look at fire. Primordial fire. We all have a deep, intimate relationship with fire. And more specifically, we will begin to look at the smoke that comes off of fire. What is happening? How does the smoke work? So we can get a better understanding to the simple question, why does smoke go up? It is very simple, yet it isn't. Well, at the same time, it is. But we'll look into it right now. Smoke from fire is a colloidal solution. Within it, it contains negatively charged carbon, meaning an electron donor. These negatively charged carbon particles are pulled upwards by the increasing positive charge of the upper atmosphere, which has a stronger pulling power and strength than the negatively charged particles of the carbon. To broaden our understanding of charge, we also have to look at how well it travels through its medium. These charges will jump between particles easiest when it is within a lower density medium. Air is such a lower density medium. Charged particles will pass more easily through air, with charges jumping like electric shocks between the particles. So if a particle is negatively charged in air, it will easily give up that charge to a particle that is willing to accept it, or that is acting upon it. A thicker medium than air is water. Water will act more like an insulator than air. Water's medium is thicker, so charges are more often contained within it. Charges have a harder time passing through water to be able to jump from one particle to another, because it is a more dense medium. Our air, which is a low density medium, is less insulative. Charges pass much more freely. Within our air, we also have differing levels of humidity. Try to use your imagination to see a carbon particle floating in the air. As it is floating, it rises to a cloud. In this cloud, it meets higher levels of humidity. Humidity is water moisture. This water moisture will begin to coat the smoke particle, and the carbon smoke particle begins to become coated and insulated by water, which is a denser medium. Therefore, less of its negative charge will be able to transit out of it, making it more like a protected cell, and the water is the membrane. So what we're seeing is the water coating the carbon particle and the electricity having a harder time moving out of the carbon because water is a denser medium than air. Since the charge cannot get out of the cell because of the water moisture that is covering it, the stronger positive charges of the upper atmosphere can no longer act on it with the same strength as it did before. Therefore, it will not be able to continue to pull it up higher. What I have just explained is how we have smog inside of our atmosphere. This metaphor can also be able to describe many other electric phenomena that I will instruct about later within this video. Simply put, as an overview, the smoke, as a negatively charged carbon particle, rose because the stronger power of the positively charged atmosphere pulls it upwards. This is defeating gravity in action. As it rises upwards into the higher air humidities such as cloud, it becomes coated in water. Water, as a denser medium, insulated the charged particles within the carbon. Because of this coating of a denser medium on the carbon, the upper atmosphere can no longer pull the carbon up higher because its charge is not being released as easily. The cloud and the smog then finds a happy medium in the atmosphere with a constant push and a constant pull action, where both rising and the sinking functions find a sort of balance within the air. This is an electrical representation of how smog is created, how electricity interacts with a chemical function. Following these same principles, we can look at such instruments like a fog machine to understand how that it works. When you use a fog machine, there is no negatively charged carbon. Instead, it uses water particles. Since the charged particles are more insulated, they are heavier. But they are not actually heavier in weight. They are simply not being pulled as strongly by the upper atmosphere and other acting electrical forces within its environment. So they sink, providing that beautiful misty effect. The fog machine and water is very similar to how waterfalls act. We have all heard about how waterfalls generate negative charge or negative ions. If you haven't heard about that, look it up. It's very fascinating. As we watch the water fall from the waterfall from a very tall height, we can see that the impact makes significant push on it and separates the charges. The highly charged water particles are temporarily pulled up into the atmosphere as mist. But since the water particles are more insulated than carbon because of the water content and having a denser medium, they eventually sink back down. It is beautiful. It's beautiful, isn't it? The simplicity is grand. It has the ability to be applied on all scales and sizes. A stronger force is gently guiding another force. And these forces are so similar in power that they seem to be in non-violent interaction with each other. They are flowing together. They are nesting within each other. These simple ideas also have vast medical implications in Western and Chinese medicine. Quickly remember how charge jumps much more easily through a less dense field, such as air. Our blood, as a field, is a liquid field, a liquid medium. Our blood cells also contain negative charges that are electron donors to give to the rest of the body. As an example, people who are diabetic can have too much sugar in their blood. Sugar is a thick, sticky substance. It is even thicker than water. This means, of course, that it is a denser medium. So if charged blood is transiting through a thicker medium, it will therefore be less able to transmit its qi or its charge, because the sugars are insulating it. In this example, it shows that a person can have energy. They can have qi, but they simply don't have the ability to transport that qi or share it with the rest of the body because its interacting medium is too thick to offload it. It's kind of like having a bank account of millions of dollars, but you can't touch it because there is a giant wall around the bank that you can't get through. And if you could only get through it, you would find your fortune. That is your birthright. So looking at it this way, a person who is qi deficient in Chinese medicine may not really be deficient of qi or charge within their body. Their qi is only insulated to the point that it is not shareable. This is a micro example of a yin fire. I can generate infinite amounts of similarities to this example. It's awesome. This is an untapped field of growth for the basic foundations of medicine, looking at the electrical point of view and how it interacts, which can be applied to all functions within our lives. I love this video. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, comments, or ideas to share. This personal breakthrough has been a part of a chain of breakthroughs that have changed the way that I see the entire world around me. And I hope that it can become a building block for you too. This video has now officially become a meditation for myself and a way to change my daily algorithm of light. If this inspired you, please check out my video on the ghost points of Chinese medicine or my video of the mystery of the 12 channels. Until you hear from me next time, take care. Sean Bibby.